And let me quickly say, all the relevant parts of the video are going to be time-stamped in the description box below. So if there's a certain part you want to skip to, you can just do that by looking at the description. I'd also appreciate if you like and subscribe. And with that being said, let me get straight into it. Alright, cool. So in today's video, you're going to learn how to make this, how to make thumbnails that look like this, and the examples I'm going to put on screen. Let me start off by saying I'm not any fucking graphics editor nerd. Like, I literally know just what I need to know to make shit that looks like this. I don't know how to get me. Don't message me saying, can you make me look slimmer in this photo? I look fat. I don't know any of that. I'm not that advanced. I literally just know the basics of what needs to be known. So I'm going to teach you a lot. Basically, let me just put my hood up quickly. I'm going to teach you a lot how to do everything. So as you can see, this little speech bubble, that little thing there, teach you how to do that, how to make the text, how to make like all these lines coming in and this like recording thing up in the corner. So if I turn that off, you can see what it looks like before and after. How to like cut yourself out, how to make the background blurry, how to make yourself a white line, how to put the blur on the emoji. I'm going to teach you everything, right? So let's begin with a blank page like so. And the first thing you want to do is you want to drag in like a screenshot of you freaking out, or get me whatever you want your background picture to be. So in this example, I'm going to choose this little silly picture of me here. So I'm just going to drag that in. Just give it a second to load up in this bit. And as you can see, here we are, fits perfectly on the screen. Oh, you want to make your little canvas 1280 by 720, by the way, I forgot to mention that. So as you can see, it fits perfectly. And now the first thing that we want to do, if we look at this one, is we want to make a cutout and we want to make the background blurry. So as you can see, that's the background blurry, and then as you can see, I'm not blurry because I've been cut out, right? So what you do is you come here and you choose the fourth tool down. If you don't see it, you just hold a little arrow and you click, oh fuck off, you click quick selection tool. So once you've got the quick selection tool, all you do is you start off in the corner here and you just select the little screen as I'm doing now. Make sure it's all selected, all in the middle and everything. And then what you can do is you can hold Alt on your computer and zoom in, and you can just start selecting yourself as well. So as you can see, instantly, it's sort of leaked over. I don't really want my bed selected and shit. I just want it to be the screen and myself. So I'm going to show you like how to correct that in a second. But yeah, you just keep holding it, just keep pressing it, and just select all of yourself basically. So as we can see, it's gone around the edges of my body, it's gone up above my head, blah, blah, blah. But here we got this little part. So what you do is at the top of your screen, you're going to click the little minus. So as you can see, we're selected on plus. You click the minus. And what this does is it basically selects the opposite. So if I click here, see how it sort of deselects it. It sort of gets the two lines to go away further from each other, if that makes sense. So you deselect as much as you can. You can hold Alt to keep zooming in. And if you need to, just click Control Z to undo. And once you've done that, you're going to hit Control J on your keyboard. And you're going to see there's going to be a cutout. So I'm going to just hide the bottom layer. And as you can see, there's a cutout of me. It's a bit ugly. I kind of fucked it up down here, but those little parts aren't going to be noticeable. So there's a cutout of me. See the cutout of the screen. I could have made it better here, but again, I'm just going to do it quickly for this video. So now what you want to do is on the original bottom layer, you want to click Filter, Blur, and you want to choose this one here, Gaussian Blur, where the fuck that is. And you want to blur it. I recommend 3. You can do whatever you want, but I recommend 3. And now as you can see, the background is sort of blurred out, but I'm still, the cutout hasn't blurred out, so I'm still like the subject in the picture, right? Now what you want to do is, I'm going to teach you how to do this quickly. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to teach you a lot how to get the white cutout and a little drop shadow behind it. So I've got this preset here, where if I just double click it, as you can see, it automatically applies it. But you're not going to have that. So what you want to do is you want to double click on this cutout layer. It's going to open up the what's called the layer styles. And you're going to see a fuck ton of options here on the left side. You just want to select stroke and drop shadow, and that's it. And once you've selected stroke, you want to copy and paste these exact settings I've got here. If you just pause the video and you do that. And then if you select drop shadow and you copy and paste these exact settings I've got here, just pause the video and do that, you're going to get the same effect as me. Now you can play around with it, do it however you like, but these are just the settings that I use and the settings that I recommend. Then once you've done that, you want to click new style, and I recommend you save it as what I've saved. I've just named it cutout layer because this is the effect I put on all the cutouts. So once you've done that, it's going to look something like this. What I also recommend you do is quickly get the eraser tool. So it's just down here on the left. Click the regular eraser tool and you just get rid of the unwanted bits. So like little shit like that sticking out, don't want that. And if I come up here, it's kind of sticking out up here a bit, just flatten it. As you can see, it looks a bit ugly, right? But if I was to do this properly, Like this one here, as you can see, it would just be a straight line if I was to do it properly. But like I said, for the purpose of this, we're just going to do it quickly. So yeah, any bits that stick out, you just rub them out, right? Cool. So now we want to get the text in. So we just want to write whatever we want to write. So let's say I want to write like something funny. So I'll just be like, just write some foolishness like, oh my god, lol. Just some foolishness in it. I don't really know. Just something as an example, right? So you just get the T down here, just click and you type. Don't need to make a new layer, it automatically does that. And what I want to do is I actually want to make this capitals, and the text or the font you want is called Burbank Big Condensed. So you're not actually going to have that, so you need to download it very quickly. All you have to do is just come here. So yeah, like I said, you're not going to have that, so you want to type in on Google Burbank font download and just click the first one and you just find it. It's very easy. I'm not going to give a tutorial how to do that. It's easy as hell. You just type in the name of the text and click download, and it's going to be here and it's going to say your font is ready to be downloaded. You click download, you click install, and that's it. It's easy as fuck. So once you've got that, boom, now we've got the text, we've got it in the right font. I want to make this one a little bit bigger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this selection here. I'm just going to use the mouse wheel on my thing to make it bigger. Boom, as you can see, here we are. So now what I want to do is I want to apply like an effect to it. In other words, a layer style. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to double click this one. As you can see, this is the effect it's giving me. But you're not going to have that. So again, I'm going to double click on the text layer to open up the layer styles, and I'm going to let you lot literally copy and paste everything I've got on screen now. So inner glow is the first one I got selected. Just copy and paste these settings here. Gradient overlay, copy and paste these settings here. And then drop shadow again, just copy and paste the settings here. Now what I do is I apply this pink one every time, but then what I do is I go into the gradient overlay and I just change the color. That's all that changes in between all my thumbnails, just the color of the text. The effect, the layer style of it stays the same, just the gradient overlay that changes. So once you've clicked on it, as you can see, gives you all these presets and shit. You can choose any one of these if you want, like purples, reds, whatever you want. Personally, if I want like a blue one, for example, I'd go into the blues. I'd select one as like a starting point, and then I'd edit it a little bit. So for example, I'd choose like this one here, but I kind of want it a little bit more dark blue. So I'm going to click the blue down here, click color, and just sort of make it a bit more blue. Something like that, you get me? I just use these as starting point references. So now, boom, as you can see, you've got the text. So let's say, for example, I want to get another layer of text underneath. So as you can see here, I got this one, had to listen, then I got another layer underneath twice. All you do is you click on the text and you click Control J, and it's going to copy it, and then you just drag it down. As you can see, it's an identical copy. And then click T on your keyboard, or in other words, the text tool. You select this and you just change it to whatever you want. So I'm just going to change it to no way or some shit like that. And then once you've deselected it, as you can see, it's going to apply the same effect. But I don't want that effect. I want it a different color. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply another one of my presets. I'm going to show you what this preset is. So it's literally more or less the same, but this one's got inner shadow. Copy and paste that. It's got inner glow. Pause and paste that. It's got slight gradient overlay, and it's got the drop shadow as well. Boom, and that's it. So now I've got, oh my god, lol, no way. Now what you can do is you can hold shift and select both of these and just move them about wherever you want. But what I like to do is once both of these layers are selected, click T on your keyboard one more time, and it's going to open like the text like window up here. Click this one, and it's going to let you sort of modify and like warp your text and shit. So what I like to do is I like to click fisheye, and then I make the bend to 0. So just put the bend at fucking 0. And what I like to do is make the vertical distortion up by about 10. And as you can see, it sort of slants the text a little bit. When I click OK, you're going to see it's going to slant both of the text layers. So as you can see, it's as if they're sort of looking away from us. Personally, I like that. You can mess about with any of the other warp effects, but that's the ones that I recommend. Cool, now I'm going to teach you a lot how to get the emojis in and shit. So what you want to do, you're going to go on YouTube quickly and type in this exact title here, best 3 free GFX, whatever the fuck it's called. It's by somebody called Space Arts. And what you want to do is you want to download this last one here. So it's one thumbnail pack by Ray Bez or whatever. You want to download that one. It literally takes 1 second. It's easy as fuck. It's quick as fuck. You want to download it. and then you want to open it up. It's going to open in a separate window up here. And basically this thing here has just got everything you need. So as you can see, it's got like all the emojis. If I go in here, it's got like different shit on screen like that. It's basically got everything you need, right? So I'm actually just use the emojis from it. So if I open up the emojis folder, go in here, go into faces, and I just choose whichever one I want. So if we look at the thumbnail I'm creating, if I'm saying, oh my god, lol, blah, 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 probably want the laughing one. So I'm just going to find where the laughing one is. Take this laughing one here. And what you do is you want to hold it and drag it up into the window while you're still holding. Drag it into the screen here and just let go. And it's going to basically copy and paste itself onto here. Cool. So now what I like to do is I like to put this underneath the cutout. So if you go here, as you can see, so it's behind me. So I just look, see, I put the emoji somewhere different every time. So I look and I see there's not much space here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it up here. So what I'm going to do is hit Control T on my keyboard to be able to make the size bigger and smaller. And I'm just going to make it something like that. There we are. I'm going to make it hide behind my head a little bit. And cool. That's the emoji. One last thing you need to do to it is you go filter, blur, and this time you want to click motion blur, wherever the fuck that is. And this is what I like to do. Angle 0, distance 15, and just click OK. As you can see, it sort of blurred it out a little bit now. Cool. Now, what I like to do, or what I want to do, is I actually want to bring in another emoji to show you how to do it. So I've actually decided that I want to bring in another emoji. So I'm just going to get this laughing one here. And I'm going to do the same. I'm going to put it underneath the cutout layer. So it's just sort of lurking behind me. I'm going to hit Control T to make it smaller and bigger. And what you can do is you can also rotate it like so. So I'm going to make it that big with that rotation. And I'm just going to make it lurking sort of behind me here. So now that I've made it smaller and I've rotated it, I'm going to apply the same motion blur as well. So go blur, motion blur, click OK. Boom, as we can see. So that's sort of how I make them. The only thing left is how to do the speech bubble, how to get these lines and shit in. So let me do the speech bubble first. What you do is just go online, type in fucking, yeah, when you want to get to this website here, it's called Pixel Speech Bubble. All you do is just type in whatever you want to say. So I'm going to type in saying, subscribe to my video. There we are. Make it spike left and then you click create. And then it's going to create it. You're going to be able to see what it looks like. Hold on. There we are. And you want to click download. And then it's going to download. You want to click the little arrow. You want to go show in folder. And you want to have this folder open. This is your downloads folder basically. You want to have it open and then click the back to your work. And then click the downloads folder and you just drag it in like so. As you can see, I want to put this above all the text. I'm going to put this as the top layer. Now you want to do the same thing as before. Hit Control T. And just make it smaller and bigger like this. And you can decide wherever you want to put it. You can put it here, wherever you want. Personally, I just like it to put it here because you can still read it. You can still see what it says. And it's not interfering with this text layer up here. Cool. So that's where I like to do it. Now, the last thing is these lines. So you want to go back to this thumbnail pack that you just downloaded. And you want to go into brushes. And you want to choose this last one here, the one that looks black. So once you've got this here, all you do is, again, you hold it, drag it up here, and drop it, and you're going to see, boom, here we are. You just need to readjust it. The way he's made it is it fits the screen exactly. So just readjust it, boom, as you can see, it's fit the screen exactly. So I like to have this one underneath the text layer, so nothing interferes with the text. The text is the top, but then these lines come underneath. So he's already had it on the layer mode screen, so you want to make sure it's screen. And what I like to do is I just like to mess about with the opacity a little bit. I think it's too strong the way it is, so I just bring the opacity down to like, I think I have mine like 75 maybe. I don't know, you can mess about with whatever you want, but personally I just put it down like this, so it's not, you know, it's not as bright, it's not as prominent. Now the last thing you want to do, if we look at this thumbnail I made, is this little corner thing here. I don't even know how to describe it, but it looks like a fucking, like a camera recorder, right? So all you do is you go online, go Google Images, type in camcorder viewfinder, and you want to choose this fourth one here. So you want to choose this one here, go right click, copy image, comment it here, and you hit Control V, and it's going to paste it. Now again, like I said, I put this underneath the text layer. Nothing comes on top of the text layer. And then put the speech bubble underneath the text layer as well quickly. And then what you want to do with this is, Control T, just make it a little bit bigger. As you can see, just make it a little bit bigger so you can see it better. Let me zoom in as well. Let me just hide the text layer quickly. Now what you want to do is you want to click Filter, Distort, and you want to click Spherize. So this is where it's all down to you how you want to make it. This is like personal preference. But as you can see, this is what the Spherize does to it. It like sort of explodes it, like what's the word I'm looking for? Inflates it. So personally, I recommend 25. I think 25 is good. Anything more than 25 just looks fucking ugly. But it's your choice, you get me? It's your choice. Do it however you want. So you click that. As you can see, it's going to sort of explode it out like so. So now what you want to do is on this layer, you want to click where it says normal, click the little arrow, and you click screen. So as you can see, it's gotten rid of the black. Now it's just the camera bit. Last thing you want to do is you want to get the eraser, and you just want to rub out this little part down here at the bottom that said vector stock or whatever it said. Personally, I also don't like down here it says 60 FPS, 4K, and I don't like this middle bit, how it's got that fucking camera bit in the middle. So I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of the time in the corner as well with the rubber tool. And basically that's it. So now you just hit Control T and you readjust it to the right size. So I'm just going to do this quickly. I'm just going to do a quick one. You know what I mean? I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But when you make this, obviously you want to spend more time on yours. I'm just going to do it quickly for tutorial purposes. So if I go like this, here we are, just adjust it like that, something like that, and then put it underneath the starburst layer. So those lines there, they're the starburst layer. And then if I unhide the text, that basically is more or less a quick version how to make my thumbnail. So I didn't do this as good as I usually would. I'm just going to show you like the tutorial, the techniques, and what you need to do to make it like mine. But if I go into my folder, as you can see, it looks a lot better. The TV thing, the camera thing in the corners, nicely positioned. I've cut myself out more nicely. I've made the text make more sense and shit. But that's basically it. I'm not going to lie. That's basically the quick rundown version of how you make something like this. Let me know if you learned anything, if my explanation skills need work, or if my delivery is shit. Like, I'm trying to just improve basically when it comes to speaking and giving a tutorial and shit like that. So if you just let me know in the comments, I'd appreciate it. And just make sure you also download this pack here. That's important. Remember, I'm going to open this shit here. This is what you want to type in to get it. Hold on. This exact title here. Make sure you like this guy's video because he nice to you. And then just download that last one. It's called One Thumbnail Pack by whatever the guy's name is. So that's how you make it. Like I said, let me know if I can improve in any way. And with that being said, I'll catch you lot in a bit.